All right. So we went through and you just saw if you could figure out what any of these words were. So now we're going to go through each one, and then I am going to also show you the different ways that we write them in geometry. Because I told y'all a lot of times we're lazy. Shh. Didn't I tell y'all that? And we like to write it a lot smaller than writing it all out. Okay. So what did we get for number one? Did anybody know what number one was? A point. Remember I said point was one of the undefined terms. It's a specific location. It has no dimension, and we use it by putting a dot. We always have to have a, please write this down with me, a capital letter. Anytime you have a point, it needs to be represented by a capital letter. So this right here is point P. You cannot have a lowercase letter for points. Okay? What about the next one? It is a, what's that called right here? A line. A line is connected straight path. It has no thickness and it continues forever in both directions. What about this picture tells me that it's going to continue forever in both directions? The arrows. So I need you to write down a line has two arrows. That lets me know it goes on and on forever. Now, what is the name of this line? There are three different names. One of them is line AB, and we would write AB with a little bitty line with arrows up top. That lets me know, hey, it's a line. It's going on forever. It has two arrows. Do I have to call it AB? No. What else could I call it? Do I know which letter it starts at? Does it have to start at A? So what letter could it start at? I could call this BA. I could go backwards if I wanted. Could I call this BM? I want you to circle this M. Is this M a point? How do you know that? It's not, you don't literally see a dot, right? And what else is wrong with it? But what else did I tell you about points? They have to be, is this a capital letter? So it's not a point because it's not a capital letter. So you cannot put BM or AM. But you can call it line M. That lowercase m is the name of the line. Write that down, please. The last undefined term is called a what? Plane. Good job. And not like an airplane. A plane is a flat surface. For instance, the floor below us, that's a plane. Above us. Honestly, the walls are all planes. They're all flat surfaces. Do you agree? Your computer screen, you don't have them open, do you? But those are planes. They're flat surfaces. All right. Again, we use paper a lot. For a plane, we're going to call this plane. You need at least 3 letters. Well, I don't want 3 points, but let's write that. Let's write 3 points. If you don't do 3 points, I'll think you're talking about a line. So what 3 points can I put right here? X, Y, Z. So this is plane X, Y, Z. Do I have to put them in that order? Could I say plane Z, Y, X? Sure. It does not matter. Now, could I say Z, Y, R? Circle it. Does R have a point near it? No, that R is not a point. It is actually the name of the plane. So just like M was the name of the line, R is the name of the plane. Now, so who sat around here and decided which one was what? I don't know. But these are the rules of geometry, and these are the rules of the undefined terms. What are my undefined terms in geometry? A point, a line, and a plane. Those are the three undefined terms of geometry. All right, now we're going to go into some other vocabulary. This right here is not a line. Why not? It doesn't have two arrows. This one has no arrows. What do we call it when it has no arrows? A segment. So a segment has an end and a beginning. It has two endpoints. It does not go on forever. So what would we call this segment? CD. And we're, instead of putting two arrows up top, we're going to put two endpoints like this. Now, I'm going to be honest. Are y'all with me? Are you writing this down? Can you just tap the people that are not? Sometimes I get lazy, and instead of writing the set and like the actual dots, I'm going to write it like this. Do you see how this one has no dots? It's just the line. That's also acceptable. You're going to see that on your papers. But a lot of times I'll put the dots. Do I have to call it CD? No, what could I also call it? DC. It does not matter which one you write. Please put all three of those examples. Does anybody know what this bottom picture is? How many arrows does it have? This one only has one arrow. Does anybody know what it's called? Array. Does anybody know why it's called array? Looks like a ray of sunshine. Do y'all agree if you draw a sun, you usually do a circle with lines going out? That's what this is. It starts at a point and goes out. It only has one arrow that goes on forever. Now, rays are special. How would I write this notation? What letters am I going to use? P and Q. And guess what I'm going to have at P? What's at P? A dot, a point. And what am I going to have at Q? An arrow. P will have a point, Q will have an arrow. There will be one arrow. Could I do this QP? But what does Q have to have? Can Q have a point? Can P have an arrow? No. So my arrow would have to go backwards. Could I do this? Why not? Because there's no arrow with P. Put a big X on that one so you know. Don't do that. You cannot flip them around as easy as you can with line and with segment. Ray is a little bit special because where you put the arrow matters. What questions can I answer? Do you need me for real? All right, open up your notes.
Oh.
Okay. Open Open up. Next. This next one is when you have two rays, they have a common endpoint. So can y'all look at the picture real quick? What does this picture look like? It is a line. You're right. It is a line. But technically, do you agree? I have one ray going this way. And then I have another ray going that way. Do you agree that there are technically two rays here? We call these opposite rays. And opposite rays create a line. And the notation they wrote right next to here. So I'm just going to draw an arrow instead of writing it again. Opposite rays create a line. Now, I was telling last period, you can have two rays, one like that and one like that. Does that create a line? No, that creates an angle. So two rays, I'm going to email your teacher. Two rays create an angle, but if they're opposite, they create a line. All right, we're going to learn some weird words now. What if points lie on the same line? Do y'all agree A, B, and C are on the same line? We call that, did anybody get that one on that part? Say it with me, collinear. Say it again, collinear. What word is in the middle of collinear? Linear and line. So collinear means on the same line. So you would say A, B, and C are collinear. They are on the same line. What about if they're not on the same line? What do you think it's called if they're not on the same line? Non-collinear. Because they're not on the same line. Which one is not on the same line here? So you would say Z is non-collinear to, what are the other letters? W, X, and Y. Collinear and non-collinear. By the way, you will have a quiz next week over these vocabulary words. But what do we like about quizzes? You get these notes, so make sure you're taking these notes good with me. Points that lie in one plane. Remember, a plane is a flat surface. Can y'all do me a favor with your pencil? Can you kind of shade this plane right here? Because that's the one we're talking about. Guess what it's called when points are on the same plane? Coplanar. So you would say A, B, C, and D are coplanar. Look, my calendar. All those points, all the dates on my calendar are coplanar. They are on the same plane. Your phones are all coplanar. They're on the same plane. I didn't even check attendance today. I got to do that. Guess what it's called if they're not on the same plane? Shade it in again. Non-coplanar. Which one is non-coplanar in this picture? I'm going to circle it. He's chilling way out here. D is. No Ariel today. No Yuri today. No Jose today. So I'm going to say D is non-coplanar to A, B, and C. Okay. I'm going to see a couple people writing. I'm going to wait a minute. Are we okay? All right. I want you to hold up your fingers. You're either going to be holding up a 1, a 2, or a 3. Are you ready? Wait, I see 2 people writing, so I'm going to give you a minute. Okay, you are going to hold up a 1 if you think this is a point. Flip over to the front. Let's just make sure you know how to use your notes. You're going to show me a 1 if you think it's a point, 2 fingers if you think it's a line, 3 fingers if you think it's a plane. If I use a lowercase letter, is that a point, number 1, a line, number 2, or a plane, number 3? Show me. Oh, look at your notes right in front of you. A point, which one has the lowercase letter? A point, a line, or a plane? Look at your pictures on your note. A point, a line, or a plane? Good job. Lowercase letter is which one? 2. It's a line. Remember, a point has to be capital. Same thing for a plane. All right, same thing. Point, line, or plane. You use 1 uppercase letter. 1 uppercase letter or capital letter. 1 capital letter is a. You could have done 1 or 3. It is a point and a plane. Because remember when we did plane right here, we did 1 uppercase letter. So either one of them. Lower, yep, so it could have been 1 or 3. There were 2 answers. All right, what about, is it going to be a segment, array, or a line? AB. If I name it AB like this, is it a segment, array, or a line? If this is my notation, show me a 1 for segment, a 2 for line, and a 3 for array. How many arrows are on AB? 9. This has no arrows. And if it has no arrows, look at your notes. Which one of our notes has no arrows? Segment. So you should have shown, what just happened? It just exited out of it. You should have showed me a segment. Let's see what just happened. All right, next one. Wait, did we do that? Let's see. Nope, we're not gonna do that. Let me see if there's one more. That was it. Okay, that's it. Next, go back to your notes, open up. We're gonna do the last set and then we'll be done. What do you call lines that lie in the same plane and they intersect? We call them intersecting lines. Is it really that easy? Yeah. Now, last unit, we learned about parallel and perpendicular. Intersecting lines do not have to cross at 90 degrees. They just have to cross somewhere. Okay. There's not really a notation for intersecting lines. I don't have a short, cool thing, symbol for them. Sorry. All right, this next one is new. Can everybody say skew? Skew. Skew, skew. I have a box right here. Do you agree that my box has 1, 2, 3, 4 segments? But do you also agree it has 1, 2, 3, 4 on the sides and 4 on the bottom? Y'all all agree there's a bunch of different segments here? Now, yeah, we say skew, skew. I have 2 lines right here with my pen, my highlighters. Do you agree these are parallel? Look up on my board right now, everybody. Look up. Do you agree these are parallel? They're never going to touch. Do you agree these are perpendicular? Do you agree they're 90 degrees? They touch.
Yeah.
Okay. What about these 2 lines? Are they ever going to touch? No, why not? Yeah, one's going side to side and one's going up and down. They're going different directions. That is what skew is. I want everybody to raise their left hand. Raise their left hand and put it on your desk in the corner right here, right closest to you. The corner closest to you. Right here. So everybody's hand, no, right here. Everybody's hand should be on this corner of their desk, right here. Right here. I want you to raise your right hand. And I want you to put it on the corner, the closest to you on the right. And watch what happens when you go different directions. This is a little bit of a brain crazy, so watch. With your left hand, you are going to go forward and back. With your right hand, you're going to go up and down. Are your hands ever going to touch? No. You are going, it's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head at the same time. Are your hands ever going to touch? No. That is skew. All right. So, y'all look up, please. Skew lines. They are not coplanar. They're not in the same plane. They do not intersect, meaning they never touch and they are not parallel. They go different directions. And there's not really any notate. I wish there was a really cool symbol for skew, but there's not. Maybe I should make one up. Skew lines never touch. They go different directions. That's the big thing I need you to know. Okay? All right, we're almost done. What about 2 segments that have the same length? What's the word that means the same in math? Similar actually is not the same, but close. Congruent. So congruent segments. And in math, the congruent sign looks like an equal sign, but it's going to have a little squiggly up top. So anytime you see this symbol, that means congruent or same. Also, I need you to make really big and bold are tick marks. Anytime you see tick marks, that means they're the same. All right, last thing we're doing, last 2. What happened is something is in the middle. It divides it in 2 segments that have the same. What do we mean if something is in the middle? What do we call it? The midpoint. The midpoint is the middle. And so I would say B is the midpoint. I like to shorten it to MDPT. Midpoint of AC. And if B is the middle, what does this have right here on each side? Tick marks. What do those tick marks mean? They mean they're the same. So AB would be the same as BC. Last one is a new word. Bisector. What did you learn the word bi meant? Two. This cuts a segment or not array into two congruent segments. It cuts in half. Which one does the cutting in half here? Bless you. CD is cutting it in half. How do I know? It's straight and the other one has my tick marks. So I put arrows with CD because my picture has arrows. CD bisects. Does the other one have arrows? No. So I don't put arrows. CD bisect AB. Hold on. Those are our 15 vocabulary words. You are going to now glue this onto page 4. Glue this onto page 4. All right, you don't have a notebook? Okay. Your table of contents, this is going to be titled Geometry Vocab. Page 4. Glue it on to page 4, please. It's going to be titled Geometry Vocab.
Page 4. Yeah.
Page 4, Geometry Vocab. Add that to your table of contents. Once you've added it to your table of contents and glue, don't not glue. I'm giving you time right now. Glue. Because I won't let you use it on your quiz if you don't glue it in. Glue it in. Remember to glue, border, draw an X. Don't waste my glue. Oh my gosh, I just started bleeding. All right, when you're done, you can put your notebook up, come put my glue up, and get your phone. Put your notebook up, the glue up, and come get your phone. Oh man, I meant to give you all y'all notebooks. Can y'all remind me on Monday, maybe somebody? I have little notebook stickers for y'all. Tuesday, you're right. You get what?
Can I get some?
Not right now. Actually, I have this one. That's not mixing hands.
Okay.